Why are we just relying on the low-hanging fruit? I like to go for high-hanging fruit. The deposits we make today with a call, text, an email, a knock. This is the business that we can harvest in 3 to 5 years. A local restaurant, I've been going there since 2017 when it had first opened. And I'll throw an unlimited coffee tab on for the next hour. I'll just do random acts of kindness.
You make relationships with other people in the community who also talk to other people in the community.
The people I'm selling for today, I had met most of these people before COVID in 2017.
If he was talking to someone else and they just happen to mention they're looking to buy a property or they're looking at putting their property on the market, what's he going to think? Oh, you should talk to Pat Ivey. He's a legend.
Never judge anyone. Everyone has their own network.
Agents, welcome to the Get Keen podcast, your number one destination for learning how to get the most out of your real estate career. I'm Dan Lee, founder of Plum Property, one of Queensland's largest independent real estate offices, and Plum Partners, where we've helped dozens of agents create, run and grow their very own agencies. On Get Keen, I chat to high-performing agents, principals, and agency owners, so you have the tools, strategies, and insights to grow your business and live the best life for yourself and your family. Now let's get keen. All right, we are definitely keen today. I'm getting real keen. Pat Ivey's in the house for the second time. He's a superstar on the north of Brisbane. He's giving me that gaze right now like he doesn't know what I'm talking about. But I do know what I'm talking about because he's at the top of his game. I won't go through all of his awards, but let me tell you there's a few. They'll be falling out his pockets if he was wearing them. But you know, like results say more than anything. In the last 12 months, Pat has sold over 100 properties, mostly houses, at a median price of $1.25 million. That's the figures I got off the internet. So that's $125 million worth of property in the past 12 months. Whoa! Baby, those figures could, and they could be slightly more, right? It could be a couple of off markets here and there that aren't recorded. Who knows? Mate, superb effort, right? And you're great at this game of real estate. So I thought, time to have you back. There's plenty that the people could learn from a man like you. Thanks for being here, Mr. Pat Ivey.
The funniest thing is, Dan, you say I'm a top performer on the north side.
Well, isn't it?
Now, funnily enough, it is the south side, Dan, but nonetheless, I am absolutely happy to be here.
The fuck? Where did... I've always thought
you
man,
were pull yourself up there.
Bro, I do that kind of shit all the time. Okay. Hey, jeez.
Right.
That's not the worst I've ever done, but
nope.
Yeah, let's go. I knew that.
Or you can do a really quick intro again.
No.
And just say south
Let's
side.
just, okay. Cut back. On the south side, 140. So, mate, explain to me how, like, what are your best lead generation sources right now?
Straight to the chase. I love it. Now, I think I like to go for high-hanging fruit, Dan, not low-hanging.
Explain.
High-hanging is relationships, right? This is years in the making. The deposits we make today with a call, a text, an email, a knock, an open house gone well. This is the business that we can harvest in 3 to 5 years. That's high-hanging fruit to me. And we have a way within the work that we do with our community, also with our follow-up processes, also, along the path of just buyer servicing and, servicing our past clients. There is often opportunity that comes with that in the form of referrals and, call-in business. And don't get me wrong, I'm talking after 10 years of work, call-in business is great, but to maybe some of the listeners who are in the infancy of their career, still planting the seeds with properties that won't come on for 3 to 5 years, working on them today, whether that be going around and offering them an appraisal. Of course, that would be a quick way to fast-track the relationship, but I'm talking maybe something more deeper than that, more spherical than that. And that might need to be in the form of sponsorship of events, understanding if they're a small business owner, if they are a business owner, say they own a cafe, going and sitting at that cafe, getting known, getting seen by those people, because every owner of each property in your core area has a story to tell. and they also have an occupation. So unearthing what they do, and we have the likes of Facebook, Instagram and everything now to do a bit more research on them. We have ID for me to get their initial contact number. We have so much resource now to tap into. Why are we just relying on the low-hanging fruit when we can work on high-hanging fruit? So that's kind of our, area of expertise. We don't really chase withdrawns or expireds. There are enough agents that chase ours. And, we don't like when people chase ours, right? So I suppose paying that forward and not chasing other people's expired so much, I just see that as really clean business. And it's a great way to forge a big career in real estate instead of just low-hanging fruit at all times. Yeah, you might get a quick com, but they're not the sort of person who's going to leave you a glowing review and refer you. No, they're already sick of the real estate transaction. You're the second agent in. Yeah, you might get paid. Congratulations. But it's more about finding and unearthing that first seller and getting them through to under contract. That's the art.
Yeah. And you're a bit further in your career, right? You're 10 years in. And so doing those sorts of activities like chasing other agents' listings, when the market's pretty good like it is and you've got those years of experience in relationship building and farm work that you've done, you don't need to do that kind of stuff. But for a new guy who's in the game and they want to do this harvesting 3 to 5 years thing, they need to look for some low-hanging fruit. So, back in the beginning of your career, if you just started, you might do those activities then because, you do need a lunch every now and again and you need 1 or 2 listings from anywhere. So that's okay. But yeah, it's nice to be at a spot now when you're 10 years in and the hard work of what you've done, which is what I preach all the time, that the best agents out there in the marketplace, in any marketplace, in my opinion, have done the trench work, the hard relationship building groundwork for many years and stayed in touch with a lot of people, a lot of owners, a lot of small business owners and community members for a long period of time. And eventually that pays off to just being a frequent rollover of business. So, it's a nice, comfortable place for you to be there, and then you can leverage that even more. So have you always had that approach since you started, like from the baby-faced guy from 10, 12 years ago, not the bearded Viking that you are now with the party at the back? What was that always your strategy from day one, or did you figure that out in year 5, 6, holy shit, actually it's all about the stuff that I did ages ago?
No, fortunately enough, I've always had the frame of mind because I used to listen to, your Johnny McGrath's $1 Million podcast, and they would always talk about long game. And then I would explore John, and then I would, find myself down this YouTube rabbit hole of some of the ultimate professionals in the game. And I would never even think to chase expireds. I guess at our firm, we were not taught that. And I mean, it's incredible that some firms do teach it. I think it is a great way to get your name out there to start with. But what I'm suggesting is to really forge your name. It's not going to happen from chasing withdrawns or expireds. It's going to come from fresh business, relationship business. And I had started that at the beginning of this journey where I probably didn't need to study a degree in property ec, but I knew it was long-term. I knew it was a disciplinary play. So that even showed to me, if I can complete something over 5 years, I don't require instant gratification. So I look at that in my business, therefore, and go, okay, well, the people I'm selling for today in late October 25, I had met most of these people before COVID in 2017, in 2018, 2019. Selling a property for, a local restaurant owner beyond the pale at the moment. And I've been going there since 2017 when it had first opened, ensuring that I got to know the owner, ensuring I would, put on a coffee tab whenever I deemed necessary. For example, I might be sitting in there and I'll throw an unlimited coffee tab on for the next hour and customers will randomly come up to beyond the pale and they'll get a free coffee. And I'm not asking for anything in return. I'll just do random acts of kindness if I'm supporting that local business owner of that property owner in my core business suburb. And I've always thought about that from day dot.
Yeah.
Right through to today. And it's all been about follow through.
And the really important thing to think about there is some people might listen and go, oh, I'm not going to bother buying a coffee and putting tabs on for a coffee shop owner for how long? 8 years to finally get one listing from them when they sell. But in your mind, it's not about getting that guy's listing, right? That's a bonus that you're having right now, and it just happens to spring to mind when you're talking about it. But having that relationship with a coffee shop owner who literally talks to members of the community all day, right? Just like you do, you're out there talking to other people all day, but you make relationships with other people in the community who also talk to other people in the community all day. So if, he was talking to someone else, one of his customers who's in regularly or whatever, and they just happen to mention they're looking to buy a property or they're looking at putting their property on the market, what's he going to think? Oh, you got an agent? Oh, you should talk to Pat Ivey. He's a legend, right? And then, a referral comes from that. That then leads to some other piece of business. So it's it's not just
one step further though, Dan, with regards to our DLs now have recent sale, just listed, testimonial, coffee coupon, free. So therefore, that homeowner has the opportunity straight in the bin or on the fridge with potential to go to the cafe. If they do go to the cafe, they get a free coffee. It's supporting a local business. It's giving them a free coffee. Everyone likes free shit. And thirdly, yes, I go and fix the tab at the end of the month. And I would have expected maybe 10 or 20 recipients. But mate, the amount of coupons at that cafe is phenomenal. And I'm saying, hey, we're not breaking records. We dropped to 5,000 owners between Carina Heights. And there might be 200, vouchers utilised, but that's still 200 people that have gone and processed the testimonial that just listed the sale, and they happen to use the free coffee voucher as a byproduct. So that to me shows a bit more viewership engagement. But yeah, that's on a leaflet style, but I'm just talking about integrating that back to the business owner. Who happens to own property, or, getting the homeowner's attention instead of a boring, look at how good we are, chest-beating leaflet. Why don't we re-engineer our leaflets to try and get a call to action that's not a free appraisal?
For sure. And mate, I can tell you 200 out of 5,000 collecting that free coffee, you're dead right. Getting someone to actually look at a DL, engage with it, and then go and use the coffee. They 100%. If you asked any of those people now who, a lot of them wouldn't have even known you. I'm sure there's probably half of them would have already known your name who see it. Oh, Pat Ivey, yep, seen him before. Oh, he's giving me a free coffee. I'll go claim that. But there's probably 50% that just go, real estate agent giving me a free coffee. Fine, I'll go take that. I guarantee every one of those people that collected that voucher now, if I knocked on their door and just randomly asked them, hey, just a quick questionnaire, would you happen to know the name Pat Ivey at all? I bet you they would say, is he a real estate agent? Right? And that is the goal, to be top of mind of everyone, to be known as that guy or that girl in this area that does, the real estate, right?
And it got tricky though, Dan, because my initial mindset was, oh no, what if it goes to a tenant, not a homeowner?
Yeah.
Giving a tenant a free coffee. How dare I have that frame of mind? Because often, and I've learnt this the hard way, tenants in your area are a property owner a suburb over. And I've sold so much property for tenants in my core area who have referred me. I have housing commission people that call me up and say, hey, mate, my mate's selling down the street.
Really?
So
wow.
Never discount anyone.
Yeah.
And never judge anyone, in that regard, whether they own it or not.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own network. And I've got some great relationships with some of the housing commission in our suburb too.
Yeah, for sure.
So, everyone's got contacts. So it is a contact sport, and whether it be leaflets, whether it be sitting down at that cafe, being recognised, doing due diligence on that owner, at all times, I suppose high-hanging fruit is available, because I can guarantee you the Housing Commission or the tenant who's referred me a listing, the other agents in the area are probably not speaking to that owner.
For sure.
That's not contested business.
Mate, there's so much a lack of understanding in the industry of how important it is to literally just be a good person to everyone that is within your market. Whether it's a buyer, a seller, or a tenant, you can't help everyone exactly the same, right? And there are people that we're going to focus on more than others, but everyone should be treated well. And anyone that's got a question or called, even if a tenant would call me up back when I was an agent and ask the question, I'd always give them the time.
For sure.
You don't go,
we get that a lot
mate,
now.
you're first home buyer. Oh, look, come to the open home and I'll if you got anything sorted out, I'd always give them the time, because
I guess the challenge is now our phones get so busy with messages, emails, calls. We'll get that call from someone looking to get their first home, or maybe the non-dollar productive call of, can you help me find a rental? Or, you know what, I've got a kid following me up on what did I study and how do I do this? It's time consuming, but to them it might make their day.
Yeah.
To you and I, it can be a little bit of an inconvenience.
Yeah, so
but
how
you
do you
cannot allow them to think that they're an inconvenience.
100%.
I make them
and
feel
they shouldn't
as special
be.
as I can.
They shouldn't be.
We're lucky that they're even asking
Yeah,
us.
I mean, you don't want to spend half an hour on the phone with someone like that, because that's 1/16 of your working day. That's silly. It's like, this is a 5-minute chat, but I'm still going to help this person out for 5 minutes, right? And how do we deal with that thing of being too busy, though? Because that's the thing with agents, is they do get too busy and their phone will just ring and they'll go, fuck, I'll answer it, but I'm in the middle of something. And then they answer it and it's not a great lead, so then they just want to get them off the phone. And I think it's really important for agents, when they do get to that stage where they're too busy to give someone the time, if it's a quick answer of the phone call, is that they need to batch their work in their day, right? If you can't give that person on the phone 2 to 5 minutes, then don't answer it, and then block an hour or two off in the day where you go, this is the time where I listen to all my voice messages, I call back all the missed numbers, and I give everyone 5 minutes, right? Instead of just answering the call straight away and then throwing it out and being rude if it's not a really good lead, right? Because you don't really know what a really good lead is, and something that you might not think is a good lead because it's a tenant or a buyer can end up being a listing in the not too distant future from a referral, because you were just a good person. 100%. So I think you're that guy. I think that's why you've done so well. There's a lot of things you do well, but you give people the time of day, and you're really just a good bloke. You're just a nice dude. I like talking to you. And you've got and you got a good sense of humor. You
have to, man.
You got to have a good sense of humor.
If you don't laugh, you'll cry, Dan.
Oh, man.
Especially in this game.
In this game, you can't take everything too seriously, right? It's a serious business. There's a lot of money. We're selling people's houses. We want to do a good job. But at the end of the day, you need to have a laugh about things, right?
1,000%.
And you need to take the piss out of yourself, out of the industry, out of everything. Take the piss out of buyers, sellers, ourselves, the whole industry, sometimes.
For sure.
Not all the time. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the content. Just quickly, if you're interested in knowing what it might look like for you to own your own real estate business and brand, then that's what me and my team do. We help agents to create, run, and grow their own agency and brand so they can earn higher commissions and set up a better life for themselves. If you're interested in what that might look like, just click the link in the show notes and book a call with me or one of my team members, and we'll find out whether or not this is a good fit for you. Now let's get back to the episode. So explain your team to me now.
Excellent. So I've got Julie as co-agent, pretty much comes on every listing, sits in with owners, oversees all negotiations with buyers, allows me some marketing ideas and brings things to fruition, right?
Yeah.
So she talks to all the admin ladies in my office for me. And then we've got Igor. Igor is really reliable on DocuSigns. He's also a callback specialist.
Yes.
He is a field agent if we need him to be out there monitoring something or attend B&P's vals. He can fill that void, but he's really good at pre-settlements too and just handling any issues that may arise. We got Nick Sestich, who has access to all of the buyer inquiry that comes in. Now, I'll call hot inquiry, but if it's lukewarm to cold inquiry, Nick will handle. And he will also assist us with some of the callbacks on a Monday if it's someone that doesn't own a property or is not interested in the house.
Yeah.
And then I've got Johnny Brennan, who is a recent addition. Johnny is a prospecting specialist. He loves it. And he gets a thrill out of door knocking. He gets a thrill out of calling, pipeline leads and also people that have shown interest at an open house, but they need to sell their house before they list it and things like that. So we ensure no seepage, but I suppose I work in conjunction with it. I don't overlook that unit. I work alongside it. I lead from the front. I like to also do my prospecting every morning to start my day and show the team that, hey, I'm not telling you to do this. I'm showing you how to do this. And I think that that's a different mindset when it comes with attitude as well, because that attitude is action driven and not reaction driven, I suppose. But yeah, that's the team structure. It seems to be working at the moment, but always ebbs and flows. You'll never have a perfect structure, but we've just put on our 5th, and it seems to be even more rewarding than the 4, I suppose. And
have you ever had 5 on the team?
No.
No, this is the first time.
Yeah, first time.
Yeah, it adds a different level of dynamic every team member that you get, When it's just you and an associate, it's very easy. Because it's just like, I'm doing this, you're doing that, I'll throw things at you, and you can be a bit muddled up in the air and a bit, things are a bit messy. And then you go to 3, you start to get a bit organized because you're actually like, okay, we're not going to do this and this anymore. This person's going to do that. You and me are going to do this. And then you get to 4 and things can get complicated, right?
You really
need to create proper lanes when you've got 4 and go, all right, now we really need to segment all the jobs and say, this person's doing all of that, this person's doing all of that, me and this guy or whatever is doing these things. And then you go to 5 and it always just adds another layer of that organization. I'm learning as we go,
Dan, like with my career, like with buyers, sellers, every property's different, every owner's different. Every interaction, so much like staff, they're another client, right? You got to make sure that they're happy as well, and that their expectations are being met, and that they have a fulfilling role and purpose, much like when you're going through a property transaction. So everyone's got clear pathways and lanes they try and their best to stay in, and I suppose putting my hand up, I'm the one that often forgets my lane, and I'll start going into doing someone else's task, which I need to pull myself up and stick to prospecting, listing, negotiating, keeping a deal together. Really the fundamentals, as you know, in our role.
Yeah, good. I like that. Yeah, I remember that. I remember doing that myself. With your team of 5, and you've got like one guy who's now a new guy really into the prospecting and whatever, but as a team, how much prospecting, can you give us a couple of figures so that people can know, how much does a team of 4 do in a week? Do you measure the amount of calls your team makes, warm versus cold? Do people report back to you with their daily prospecting? How many letterbox drops do you do as a team?
Not really.
All of that
None
kind
of it's monitored. We've got no real KPIs.
Okay, can you give us an idea?
I will give you an idea. We like to try and aim for 2 listing presentations per day. So often in the afternoons, if we can align it that way. So we want to meet with 2 sellers per day. We also want to meet with ideally 1 buyer inspection per day. If we're not doing open homes, we need to be at least doing 1 private inspection as a bare minimum. Especially we list a lot of vacant styled houses. So why not have a canvas to run people through at any given time? We are doing our midweek inspections. We are doing 2 of those a day. We're doing 5,000 DLs per month, but then we're doing the just listed, just sold letters around each listing. We are listing 2 to 3 properties per week and selling 2 properties per week. So we list 3, we sell 2. So that kind of works on about 100 per year. But we might list about 120 to 130 properties per year. So that's kind of how it all works out. In terms of outbound phone calls, tricky to give you an exact figure, but I would say I would make 40 to 50 calls every single day. I would
Connects
say
or calls?
Johnny connects.
Yeah,
Connects.
Okay.
Johnny would probably make 100 phone calls, but connect with 40 to 50 as well.
Yeah.
Igor, Julie, Nick, Nick's got a buyer role too, so mate, he could be making in excess of 100 phone calls a day. But Jules and Igor, it just depends on what other appointments they've got on and stuff like that. But often very active. You'll never find them sitting still. They'll always be on a call or at a meeting. And, I really enjoy my time in office because it is limited. I'm always on the road. And that is frustrating. However, it's funny, isn't it? We never talk about how much food, how much water we consume on the road, how many pit stops we go to the service station. Like, mate, the poor gas attendant at Carina, BP, whatever it's called, Ampol now, he must see me 4 times a day. I'm going in there to get water.
What are you buying, pies?
No, not pies, but I'm getting those, bottles of water, energy drinks. I'm going to the toilet, mate,
Monsters.
4 times a day. No Monsters. Celsius.
Monsters and a pack of ciggies.
No cigarettes. But I might get a high-protein salami stick.
Mate,
I don't know.
with that party at the back, I thought it was a pack of ciggies.
It is Carina.
Packet of Winnie Blues.
No, but it is funny. Like, I'm never in the office. So when I'm in there, I'm doing proposals, or I'm doing vendor reporting, or I'm doing a contract. Yeah. I'm not in there for the sake of being in there. Otherwise, I'd rather do a farmer.
Oh, you don't like just hanging out at the server?
Not really.
No, okay. I thought you did. I see you in there all the time. If you're looking for a new associate, right? Let's talk specifically an associate that does prospecting work. They might do other things, but let's say half their job is prospecting. What sort of things are you looking for, and how do you choose the right person?
I think I look at my last 3 team members, Johnny, Nick and Igor, and I wouldn't change a thing about either 3 of those lads. So if you look at them, they're all very different. I guess Johnny, the most recent, taking his personality into account, energetic, bubbly, easy to get along with, casual, doesn't like to be micromanaged. Man, I let him do what he needs to do. Often he'll work from home because he lives in the core suburb that we work in. So I'd rather his eyes on the suburb rather than being in at Cooperoo, just doing calls from there. Make calls from home. Perfect. You can see what's going on. On your way into Cooperoo, you can do a drive around the streets, make sure if there's any activity, we know about it. Skip bins, all that. We got eyes in the suburb at all times. And that's how we know about who's renovating, who's adding value, where the subdivisions are in the area. And they all translate onto, the websites. You can also easily look on the council websites, who's doing work, etc. So having Johnny, I suppose his vision, his personality, all of that mixed into one great human being allows for the perfect co-agent because they're great prospectors naturally. They're not data and spreadsheet driven. They're more present to the moment driven people that are picking up, seeing things, and they're really able to then convert that because they'll come back, report it to me, we'll go to ID for me, find a number, call it, mention, we notice you're making some improvements out the front of your property. Do you mind if I ask, are you looking at making a move in 2026 or are you looking at enjoying the great renovations that you've done? And we'll get information off the fact that someone's local.
Is that what your associates will do for you? So they'll knock on the door of someone who's got a skip bin or something out the front. They'll go and knock on the door and say, "Hey, sure. I'm from Pat Ivey's team. What are you doing?"
Pretty much.
What are you doing with that skip bin out the front?
In the least intrusive way as possible.
Yeah.
If you can come with data and say, look, we've actually just sold the one up the street. A lot of people love this street. Do you know any neighbours that are looking at doing anything? You full well know that they're doing something, but you want them to answer the question for you. And then that allows information to come off the back of it. It is a really great interaction, yields information. With that information, it's up to you how you convert it.
So going back to like, how do you know? Because these are the sorts of things you find out when you've worked with these young lads for a while. Like, oh, he's good. He understands he's got to be out there and he's finding leads, etc. But, going through the interview process, this is a struggle sometimes, like just choosing the right person. Because, once you've chosen that person, you've got to give them a good red hot crack and then have a process to whether they're going to stay or it's not going to work out. So, like, what do you look for in that interview when you're looking for someone who's going to be a prospector on the team? What would be some green box ticks and maybe some red flags also?
We've never really put out a resume, chasing resumes. We've never gone on Seek. Anyone that I have ever had come into the business has just been put in front of me, sliding door moment, and the chemistry allowed us to move forward. So it's hard for me to answer that because I've never gone through the qualification process and had to interview multiple people. I've never done any of that, and I hope I never have to do it. It sounds like it's stressful, and it's a lot of energy and effort for, what if one goes south, So it is hard for me to answer that, but I suppose if you are a disciplined, high energy, you mean well, you are well researched in your market, you train, you look after your body, you look after things. I think people are attracted to that, and you will attract like for like. And therefore, I've got a really great unit of proactive people with high energy that like to do their job, and they're positive and they're not pessimistic. They don't bitch and moan. They don't create rumor mills. I like that. And that's what's working for me, I suppose. So I suppose sitting down with me, if I was to interview someone and they start gossiping or bitching, that's a massive red flag to me. So,
like, talking about their old workplace and what was
other
wrong
agents,
with it,
this and that, telling me all the rumor mill, more of a reflection on you.
Yeah.
So I'd rather steer clear of that particular person.
Sure. What's your biggest challenge at the moment?
I suppose going into a presentation, a lot of agents will grenade me now because we are the top market share agent, and everyone's a little insecure that, they think that they're always up against us. So they always say, I'm too busy. And okay, very good at grenading now. So I suppose overcoming that in a contested listing presentation, but we know how to do that. It's very straightforward. We've got the buyers from the property around the corner. We've got a lot of market share in that price point. It's very easy to win a buyer over, which the buyer is paying for the purchase price. So if you've got the relationship with the buyers, you win. And we seem to have really good relationships with buyers. And, not saying other agents don't. There's some great agents in our area. You just interviewed Shane, and I think he's one of the best agents in Brisbane, let alone Camp Hill. He's an ultimate professional. So you're up against great performers like him all the time. So you've got to have a point of difference. And I suppose my challenges are my points of difference. I'm too busy. Yeah, well, it's a really good problem to be busy. People like dealing with busy people. We have more market share because we deal with more buyers. I've got more team members to deal with more buyer inquiry. I'll still be there. I'll still be able to guide you through this, but it's going to be a team effort. And, we feel like we're becoming a bit of a super team. I'm not a super agent, but I got great people around me that make us look better than what we are. So that's just the truth of the matter.
Yeah, and that's some good dialogue for how you would answer that objection. I'm sure you get it a lot, right? So you're saying you get grenaded, so you go in there and the owners will say, "Oh, you're really busy. Like, are you too busy for us?" Do you get that?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
But again, I'd be honest with them. Yes, we carry X amount of properties for sale, but we have excellent processes, framework. We can move forward.
Yeah.
This is not an issue. And I have that sort of personality where I cannot put the phone down, which is good and bad. It's certainly bad from a friendship, relationship perspective because I'm rarely present and, that's its own problem. But in terms of work-related, I am a hustler. There is no one who works as hard as us. And our team just do not stop. We're 6 days a week, nearly 24/7, 6 days a week. It is full on. And we have VAs and we have admin, and we have so much framework. Our suppliers wear Pat Ivey team shirts. You know, these people are landscapers, pre-market preparation experts, leaflet droppers. They're all wearing, you know, Team Ivey related stuff. We are in the core area.
Well,
it's real.
Yeah,
it's
real.
It's holistic.
Well, mate, that is real. And I don't know where my Pat Ivey shirt is, but
I don't know either.
You said that
I thought you would wear it today.
Our relationship, as you mentioned, from a personal point, your relationships might suffer sometimes. Ours certainly has. You never call me back anymore. And, you know, I just think you're too busy. You're just too busy for your job. And, you know, we're on thin ice.
Well,
but
Dan,
I think you can make it up to me. I think we'll
appreciate
get there.
your feedback, Dan.
You don't even bring me in a T-shirt. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get invited on your podcast one day. But I love having you here, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Always a pleasure.
That was awesome. I think that was better than the first one.
Has to be.
It has to be. Yeah. I love that. I hope everyone got something out of that. If you did, please, I'd much appreciate it. Give me a comment, give me a like, give me a 5-star review. You know, it gives me some encouragement to keep this content coming out for you guys. It's all free. It's all, you know, paid for by me. I don't make any money off this. I'm not having a whinge, but
Sounds like you're whinging there.
You shut up. You get out of here now. Hey, I've asked all the questions, all right? You're done. All right, thanks, guys. Love your work. Thanks for joining Get Keen. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning into the Get Keen podcast. If today's episode got you thinking about starting your own real estate business and building your own brand, Plum Partners may be able to help. Book a call using the link in the show notes, and let's see if we're the right fit to help you create, run, and grow your own real estate brand. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow me on Instagram at Dan_Lee_Plum. Until next time, keep getting keen.